Hi everybody, it's Ola aka Chalk1 from Battlefield Podcast, and I'm here with Tim aka Darkness429. What's up, Tim?
Not much, buddy. How you doing?
I'm good. We've been spending some time in a game called Defiance that we want to talk to everybody about a little bit and sort of give our little review of it.
Yes.
For those of you that don't know what it is, it's I don't know how you would describe this. It's an MMORPG, I suppose,
with a sci-fi twist.
Yes, it's not a subscription-based game. It's a free-to-play. It's not free-to-play. It's a purchase the game and then play.
Yeah, it's if you're familiar with like Guild Wars, that's another MMORPG that you just pay for the game, and then after that, it's it's not like World of Warcraft, where it's a subscription-based, where you pay for the content that's constantly being sent out. This is a little bit different.
Yeah, and the other unique twist to this is that it's actually, it goes alongside the same titled TV show on the Syfy channel, also called Defiance. So this is kind of new. I don't think that this has ever been done before, where they do this at the exact same time, where they have a TV show on and a game, and they're supposed to follow the same or similar storyline. They're set in the same universe anyways. And I think we'll talk about this a little bit. And we've put in, I don't know, Tim, how many hours do you think we've put into this game so far?
Almost 20 hours, maybe a little bit more than that.
Yeah.
We've been grinding at it a little bit as of late.
Yeah, so it's not first person, it's over the shoulder, whatever you would describe that perspective.
Third person.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. It's obviously, like you said, it's set in the future. I don't remember the exact year. But basically, Earth had catastrophic events happen. Everybody left the planet. Aliens got into a fight with us, and blah blah blah. And now we are sort of in a almost Western kind of setting. It's a little bit similar to Firefly, in the sense that everybody's riding around in futuristic vehicles that are still similar to current things that we're used to. Like, you get quads, you have vehicles that are, I think they're actually Dodge branded, right?
Yeah, they all have the Dodge badge on it, so I'm sure Dodge put in a pretty penny for this.
Yeah, and a lot of people are wearing sort of Western type outfits,
Right,
if you've ever watched Firefly.
Yeah, and there's like raiders, and there's mutants that are always running around. What's really interesting, there's always something happening in the game. So it's a free roam style. You've got this large map, this large continent that is supposed to be a futuristic California area.
Yeah.
And there's always things going on. No matter where you go, there'll always be some type of like mini mission that's kind of happening, where you have to like rescue someone, and other people can assist you. And then you also have your main missions, and then you've got side missions, and then you can also help other people out. And then there's the main storyline that's also happening, that's in tandem with the TV show. So there's always something to do, and you're not just stuck on this linear path like you are in other shooters. This is very open. You can make it your own style. There's hundreds of different types of weapons that I'm constantly coming across. Like, I just came across this new gun the other night that shot out this type of infectious bullet, and then it grew on the enemy, and then when it popped, there was like this crab thing, like from Half-Life, that kind of crawled around and then attacked another person. So I was really surprised when I ran across this weapon. And then it kind of almost reminds me of Borderlands 2 a little bit. It's got that feel, that the elemental style ammunition. You've got corrosive bullets. You have fire, slugs. It kind of like slows the enemy down. There's a very large variety, and there's hundreds of different combinations when it comes to armor and clothing. Your vehicle styles. I mean, you can definitely make your character your own person. It's very customizable.
It is. It's actually very interesting in the sense that not only do you have all these different weapons, you can, like you said, you can customize them, you can salvage them. There's different currencies involved in the game. And it is kind of cool because it is really wide open. You have, like you mentioned, the missions. You got these little, they're not even side missions. I think they call them challenges or something, where you have to do certain tasks against the clock.
And there's
compete,
a leaderboard.
Right?
Yeah, you actually compete against everyone who's playing Defiance at that moment. And then, so if you're a perfectionist and you want to, be the top, then I could see people spending hours upon hours trying to perfect that challenge to be on the top of the leaderboard.
There's also some co-op maps there that I haven't actually looked at. We should do that one of these days. But overall, the game, it looks pretty good. The graphics are not bad, I would say.
I was actually, in the video that we'll be showing with this audio commentary, there's some side missions that I was talking about that at the end of it, you had to fight this large hell bug called a monarch. And the monarch has an attack where it rears up on its hind legs and it smashes the ground and fire comes out. And the fire effect, you know, the particles and just everything, the lighting that they had put into this large ball of fire that comes screaming down the lane, I was really impressed by it. And I think at one point I even stop and go, wow, that's really pretty, as the thing's coming at my face. You know, they put a lot of detail in it. It's no Crisis, it's no Far Cry.
No.
But they did a really good job for what they were trying to do with this game, I think, visually.
Yeah, and you got to keep in mind that every time they do these games with that huge open map, you know, it's on a very different scale. You got all these other people around, and so it's pretty cool. I've been playing it for probably about the same amount, maybe a little bit more than you have.
Yeah.
The storyline is it's interesting enough, but I think that some of the downsides are it's a little bit too repetitive. Most of the missions are very similar to each other.
This is the complaint that I have with the game right now. A lot of the missions are very cookie cutter.
Yeah.
You've seen one, you feel like you've seen them all. You know, they take a little bit from here and a little bit from there and then make a new one. You're like, wait, didn't I just do that? And at some points I kind of get confused and I almost lose sight of what they're trying to tell me in this story with these missions. Let's use Guild Wars for an example, because it's something that we've spent a lot of time in. Guild Wars is also very open, but with the missions it's almost semi-linear. Because it's telling you a story. It's telling you something that's happening leading up to the ending of the story. But with this, I'm losing sight. I don't really know what the story is. I'm not sure what these missions are trying to tell me. So I'm confused.
Yeah, there's a lot of the missions follow the same sort of steps. It's basically go here, kill all these guys, and I'm not even kidding. Free those people and then protect them while they do something.
Yeah.
And then kill everybody else.
Right.
And then the next mission will literally be the same in a different location, but still be exactly the same. So that's a little frustrating. I think there's enough to do if you're doing it with friends. The game has got there's enough appeal, I think, to get past it, but I've also heard from some people that they've finished the main mission arc and they're kind of like, now what? There should be other things to do. One of the big selling points of this was that there was going to be these episode missions that relate to the TV show, right? That tie the two together.
Right.
Now, I've heard other people question, wait a minute, the TV show, if you've seen it, it's set in St. Louis. The game is set, like you said, I think it's around San Francisco. So it's in California. So you're in different locales, even though you do actually meet the TV show characters in the game at least once. But I've only had one episode mission so far. I think we're 3 weeks into the season of the show. I was sort of expecting to get a weekly mission in the game that in some way relates to what happened on the TV show. Didn't even have to be with the characters in the TV show, but you know, a lot of times you'll have on the TV show, this is what happened, this is what had to be done, and you know that other people went off and did things on the side to support whatever the big thing in that story, in that episode was. And I had sort of expected that we'd be doing those supportive tasks.
Yeah, right. Something that was going in tandem with the episode that had just come on.
Yeah, exactly. So far, I've yet to see that. That may change, I hope, because I think it needs more of that. These games, they tend to, especially like games like Guild Wars 2, they tend to stick around for years because there's always things to do. There's things for people to compete in or even scavenge for things or craft things or do those kind of things. Defiance doesn't really have any of those things.
Yeah, it really hasn't shown that longevity that we've seen in other MMORPGs.
Yeah. I mean, I like the setting. You know, it has, there's no fall damage. There's a bit of artificial gravity sort of thing because the jumping is clearly exaggerated. But it's meant to be like that. It is supposed to be futuristic. Some of the outfits are pretty cool. I think one of the things that, going back to the weapons that you talked about earlier, I don't know if it's because we got some special perk weapons because we got the game right on in the beginning, but I'm still literally using the same gun that I've been using for the past 15 hours because I haven't come across anything better yet. Maybe that's because I haven't progressed far enough yet. But I've come across a lot of things that you get as mission rewards.
Right, and they're useless.
Like, I'll just sell these. I have no use for these at all.
Right, yeah.
None whatsoever.
The rewards for competing, or for completing the missions don't really make them worthwhile. There was one weapon that you get, I don't even think you can call it a weapon, but it was almost like a healing gun. It healed, and then it also could destroy something. And
yeah, it would drain shields, I think.
The damage output that it did wasn't worth me carrying. Like, my rocket launcher did more than this thing did. So things like that really, I feel like if you gave me something that was worthwhile to me in my level of gameplay, my ego rating, I would want to actually complete the mission. But at that point, like, you know, like the one that I'm on right now, I get an ATV at the end of it, and it's like, well, I already have this ATV, mine's better. Why do I want to get something that I won't even use? So it's like I really feel like this game needs some tweaking. It also needs some mechanic fixing, like the actual building blocks of this game, I feel like, aren't all set correctly. Like, there's problems, like when you're in a group and you're trying to co-op with each other, there's a thing called a phase, and sometimes you get kicked out of the phase that you were just in with your buddy, or he gets moved somewhere else, and then you try joining on him and you still can't join on him, but you see him on the map, but you don't see him in the game. So trying to keep your group together in the same phase is very tedious and annoying because it doesn't always work. Yeah, and that's very frustrating to me.
Now, as far as the longevity of the TV show is concerned, because I'm thinking that in some way the game and the TV show are tied to each other. I would imagine that if the TV show didn't last, the game would probably be in trouble as well, because even though the integration isn't there as much as I'd like to, you'd have to think that they are in some way relying on that connection. So the TV show itself, I think it's interesting enough. Syfy actually has a history of creating some pretty good TV shows. Like, I'm thinking of Warehouse 13, for example. They've done some really good work in the past. This one's still pretty new. It's 3 episodes in, but I think it has potential. I think the actors are interesting enough to have some longevity there. But, you know, obviously that will all remain to be seen. But I'm hoping that going forward, there'll be more interaction between the two. And I guess what it boils down to is, we've been asked this by some of our friends a few times, whether we think that they should buy the game. I guess what it comes down to is, if you're into this kind of game that is open, it is set in sort of a sci-fi setting, like if you're looking for a Guild Wars 2 light set in the future, there's probably nothing else that compares to it. So you're kind of, you know, this is probably a pretty good opportunity. I don't know if $60, I mean, it really depends. You kind of have to love that setting, I think. What do you think? Would you recommend it?
For me, I'm going to be honest. I really wasn't expecting to play this game. I played the early betas. Ola and myself and some of our other friends were in the early betas, and some people absolutely loved it. Some people didn't like it, and that's where I kind of found myself was I liked it, but I wasn't sure if I could commit to it. Playing it more, I enjoy it, but it's not something that I can sit there for hours upon hours and just play. It's a good game, but I feel like if you have a group of friends that are playing it and you really want to be included with them, then yeah, I say go ahead and get it and join in on the fun. But if you're on the fence because you just want to play it by yourself, I don't know if you're going to find that enjoyment. You definitely need to have a group of people keeping you going to kind of give you that motivation, because if not, it's just going to turn into this mindless, numbing grind that's not going to be fun.
Yeah, and I mean, the one thing about a game like this is hopefully there'll be continued content updates, right? So hopefully for those people that have already finished it, there'll be more to come soon. And I mean, I'm definitely going to keep playing it because I'm kind of curious as to where the story goes. I think sometimes the journey to get there is a little tedious, and I'd like to see more interaction with the TV show, just so it can have that special I was going to say the special feeling, but it's like it's the secret sauce for this game, right? It's supposed to be the interaction between the TV show and the game. That's the big marketing thing.
Yeah,
so
we've never seen this before in the gaming industry. We've never seen a TV show and a PC game or just a video game in general collabing together. It's just never really gone smoothly. So something like this is definitely a new venture for just the gaming industry. To have something that you can watch on TV and then go and play, it's new, it's exciting. So like you said, I really hope that they start to meld these two together and make this so that the players feel more connected with the TV show. And I think that'll help with the TV show in general, and that'll help give the TV show something else to look for viewers to look forward to, is that they feel like they're in the show. There's a contest going on right now where that if you do so many arc falls and you do so many things, that you could be spotlighted in the coming episode of the TV show. So that's really cool that they're doing these special type of offers and contests to make you more involved in not only the TV show but also the video game.
Yeah, I mean, I will say that every week that the show comes out, I think it's on Monday nights, I look forward to watching the show, and then actually I want to go play the game after. It's gotten to the point now where the show is bringing in some of the same enemies that we've seen in the game. You know, in the game, very early on, you meet the Hellbugs, and you're talking about the Monarch and stuff. That wasn't in the first couple of episodes on the TV show, but it's coming now. So you're starting to see more similarities, and you're watching the show and you're like, yeah, I know those guys are a pain in the ass. You got to shoot him in the glowing butt there to kill him. You know, so that it's starting to get there. I think if you're on the fence, this game, by the way, is out also on Xbox and PS3, so it's on all the platforms. And you should, I don't know if there's a demo or not, but you know, we're gonna probably have a few more videos on our channel. We tend to stream it every once in a while, so do our friends. So there's certainly no shortage of information for you to look at it and sort of get a feel for what it's like before you decide. But if you're into that kind of setting, if you enjoy the TV show especially, I think it's worthwhile to have a look at it. It's definitely unique, and it's sort of a nice bit of a fresh breeze to something that we haven't seen much before. So I enjoy it, and I think we'll continue to enjoy it at least for some time to go. And obviously we can't predict the future, but we'll see. So with that said, I think that if you want to find out more about Defiance, let us know in the comments. Like if you want us to post more videos or live stream it more, or if you have any specific things that you want us to talk about in regards to it, let us know, and we'll do that.
Because we love you guys. We do.
That's right.
We love you guys a lot, and we want to make you guys happy. So if you guys like the video, please make sure to hit the like button. If you like what we do here at the Battlefield Podcast YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. You can follow us on Twitter, on Facebook, all the other social media sites. You can head on over to battlefieldpodcast.com for all those special links, and they'll be also featured in the comment section down below.
Perfect. Oh, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon in some more videos about other games than Battlefield, because we have some time before the next Battlefield game comes out. So expect more varied content over the next few months. Thanks again.